गणेशाय नमः। ॐ यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैव पशममयान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनरीशभु कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे मनो सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Yoga Vasishta Nirvana Prakaran, second half, 45th chapter, and the subject matter is, previously we have seen already, the seed of the will-fulfilling tree, that is Samadhi, and seed is dispassion, and how to protect the seed, and how the tree should be protected, and what are the steps to climb the tree and have that the fruit, Samadhi, which is eternal bliss, that we have already seen. And the fourth step, that is called Turiya, that also we have seen how at that state of being the seeker becomes the witness of the world, this side, and the upper side, the fifth state of this ladder, that is Pancham, fifth state, Pancham Sthiti. And in fourth state, witnessing, there remains the I, and it witnesses itself in different names and forms as the world, and silent witness without any partiality to anything or any attachment to anything, just indifferent, silent witness, and it enjoys everything. And then when he sees upwards, that means his future steps, he looks at the seventh state, and that is Samadhi, how to have it. So we have been discussing the methods, that means the sadhana process of the sincere seekers in the path of knowledge. So the process is to make the two into one. That is the process. Two or many, as many as names and forms we see in this visible world. Those names and forms, how the forms are formed and how the names are related with the forms, and when we understand the process analytically, seeing the natural laws of this creative process, then we are able to make the two names and forms into one identity. And that is the absolute one without a second. That we have seen, and then also we have seen the other method, Triputi. The other method was Sankalphinata, to become thoughtless. How to become thoughtless? By, of course, the same process given in yogic Sankhya Yoga, Patanjali Yoga, withdrawal of mind from the sense objects and fixing it on the basement or the starting point, that is subconscious mind, and making this subconscious mind stagnant. No work. When mind is not working, then it has got nothing to do. And mind works through senses, body, and prana helps it. So mind goes out of its starting point, that is chitta, and it has contact with, it gets contact with the outer object of the particular sense through which the thought waves go out. And that connectivity is only for a moment. So if that is withdrawn, then all these outward names and forms of this world have no value, and then mind becomes one-pointed and attains samadhi in course of time. That is to cut off the contact. And the third process is the triads. Triads, the whole world is based on, first is names and forms, and second is contact with the sense objects, third is triads. Triads, the seer, seen and seeing process, or the doer, doing and done object. In this way, wherever we go, whatever we see in our daily transactions, our relative life, everything is under this process, triads. So, if the triads can become one, means if you can analytically understand and accept that there is no three, there is only one, then three or four or many or two, they merge in one, absolute one. How that also we have seen. Just as, first of all, we have to take the example our own self, because all the examples found in this world are there in your own personality. The personality is nothing but the model of the whole universe. Every being is a model of, and especially the human being. Human being is the model of the whole universe. So, if you can look at your own personality, that is your identity, that is I with the body. I am the body. And body has everything, the senses, mind, fourfold mind and prana and the working process, and that again comes perception with perception of sense objects by this triad method. I am the seer and I see myself and my part of my body, and if this is so, then I am only one, the whole total one, total one. That means I have manyness within me. If I am the body, body has got 10 senses and different organs. Body is nothing but a chariot or a machine or a field. Any way we can say, our body is a tree. It has got a manyness within this. Body is nothing but a total, total one, a group, a cooperative society. And here the society works through triangular force, the fourfold mind, prana, and the body senses. So triangular force, by cooperation, by co-relation, by co-understanding, everything, one cannot do anything. In this way, I am the seer, I am the seen object, and I am the seeing process also. If I see my hand, hand is in me only. It is not other than me. But when I see my hand, me means the body sees the hand. So the eyes have to see. Eyes also belong to the body. Hand also belongs to the body. The parts of the body, they are different in sense of parts, but they are one in sense of body. So body is one, total. And the part will be many. So the body, see the body, in body, by body, everything is body. So in this way, the whole universe also acts, and the nature acts in this way only. The whole total nature is nothing but nature holder. Just as the water is there, water's nature is wavery or liquidity or coolness. All these are the nature of the water, which is not separable from water. Say fire. Fire is, it has some qualities, nature. So quality is light, heat, and a form. Similarly, all these objects of the world, they have their qualities, and these qualities together belong to the quality holder. Just as the water is the source of liquidity or coolness or waviness, similarly, the one is the holder of many. Without one, there cannot be any many. Without one, whatever you do, you have to start with one. One is the beginning of everything. In the very beginning, there is only one. That is what the declaration of the Vedas, and that is practically also we see in our day-to-day life. Without one, you cannot count anything. Without one, there is no arithmetic, mathematics, nothing. Nothing you cannot have any transaction without using one. Whatever transaction you do, don't you forget one? One is the beginning and end. In between comes all these manyness of the same one. So one is the nature holder, many is the nature. That is what we see in this world. The absolute one without change is the holder of his nature, which is manyness. Manyness. One becomes many. And don't forget, in philosophy, there is no many, and there is no multiplication, but there is only divisibility. We only divide and see the many. There is no plurality possible without dividing one. Because in the very beginning there is one. So many comes when one is divided into many parts. Then only one is seen as many. So absolute one has become many, that is its nature, and all these names and forms, they are within the one, and that's how in the personal, individual being, that also is activated, that is seen as our I and my, which is known as world. I is one, and my becomes many. When I is dividedly seen, then it sees the many within itself. So from that sense, these triads are nothing but one. If I see the hand as different from me, and my eyes see the hand, the seer is eyes, and hand is seen object, and process is within the body. So, triad becomes one if you see in a total vision. If you see the individuals part by part, then of course they are different from each other. If you see everything at a glance in one vision, in total vision, all-round vision, then there is no many, there is only one body. Body is the seer, body is the seen object, body is the seeing process. So in this way we have seen the many becomes one, and when one is there, mind has nothing to do with many. Mind cannot run. Mind becomes zero. Mind becomes one with the one. So this is the analytical process of attending samadhi. If this is understood and accepted by the mind, mind has no way to go out or go anywhere, neither in nor out. There is no in or out if there is no dualism. Dualism only makes in and out. There will be a line between the two, then one becomes inside, other becomes outside. So mind has got no way to move. It has to keep quiet and attend samadhi. All these processes are no need for you. Just sit, silence your senses, mind, tell them goodbye to all many. At the moment you sit silently, you enjoy the absolute silence. You are bound to guarantee of our guarantee of guarantee. Modi Sarkar. Guarantee is guaranteed. So these are all the methods to have that eternal blissful truth. And today we shall see all these we have already discussed. It is revision only. Today, Vasishta ji says, Hey Sri Ramchandra ji, लोक ऐसणा, स्त्री ऐसणा और धन ऐसणा. ये शून्य जो पुरुष है, इसी से शून्य जो पुरुष है, उसे ब्रह्म पद में विश्राम प्राप्त होता है. The other method we see. Discussing on the desires. Desires are the root cause of our miseries and manyness of the world, our bondage, our attachment to objects, and that is how we are bound, and we seek for freedom. We seek for liberation from this bondage. So the root cause is desire. When we analyze the word desire, desire means a tendency to have something. That is sense object. Something means sense object. And that sense object is desired for because of one aspect, that is the fundamental aspect which causes all these desires. You see, when you need something, then only that need becomes the desire. And how do you need? What for you need something? Where from your need comes? If you see it seriously, deeply, honestly, then we find I am lacking something. That's how I want to fulfill it. Fulfillment of the unfulfilled aspect. That is, in other words, to become complete. We feel incomplete by ourselves. That is the basic principle wherefrom the desires crop up. And why should we, how do we feel incompleteness in us? Because of this body. Body is limited by form, by knowledge, by power, by everything, by by everything it is limited. And I am so much entangled with this body. I am means the body. I am the body. We are speaking of common individuals. So if I am the body, then I am limited. Limited in all sense. And if you can be limited in nonsense, then you will become free from all this. But you are limited in all sense. All sense means knowledge is limited, our power is limited, our action capacity, working capacity also is limited. We have belongings limited. We need the whole world. Whatever we see, that is needed. Because you are not one with the whole total universe. You are individual. You are part of it. You are parcel of it. So naturally you feel incomplete by yourself, and that is the root cause for the desires. To complete yourself, to have fullness.
Concept of I is also unlimited. It's limited, no, sir?
I also is limited.
The whole concept that I.
Yes, concept of I is individual I, that is the body with some awareness. I am the body, which is always, though it is aware of itself, yet it is forgotten in every moment because we are engaged in extrovertness, engaged in outward activities every moment, and that is based on fulfillment. Needs are nothing but fulfillment. Fill up the gap. Fill up the gap. And still further, if we see, if one becomes two, then there will be a gap. That is the cause for two, and that is the cause for also desire and relativity. That is the cause for relativity. When one becomes two, then all the two, both, they have relationship with each other because they are originated from one. So they will have the, just as two brothers of one father, they are cousin brothers. No, they are real brothers. Real brothers. They have their relationship. Similarly, every two has got relationship, and the whole world depends upon, based on relativity, the theory of law of relativity. Two means relativity starts. And this, every two will have a gap to make one into two. So there will be relationship and there will be a gap which needs to be fulfilled. That is what I am telling, fill up the gap. If the two becomes one, the gap is fulfilled and there is no problem. No relationship. Neither two, nor triad, nor action, nor reaction, nor cause and effect. All these natural laws become useless then. So in this way, if we can understand analytically the origin of the desires, then we can proceed to see how the desires activate, how do they work, and they cause all our miseries. Life is miserable because of desires, and that is rooted in incompleteness idea. I am, I am lacking something. I have not everything. One who has everything, he will not desire for anything. And that's how our Yoga Vasishta mantra says, Yoga Vasishta mantra. Huh? Of course, it is Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, etc. All these are the highest mantras which brings you union with the Absolute. But in an ordinary formula or a common local language or savage language, we can say, I need nothing, this is the highest mantra. I need nothing, I am complete. If you can do japa of it, then world disappears. Then not there. I need nothing. I am complete. अहम ब्रह्मास्मि तो मीनिंग यही कहता है. ब्रह्म मतलब पूर्ण. ब्रह्म means the fullness, the totality. Brahma is ever uh, resembling or ever growing. So, in common ordinary language, we can say, I need nothing, I am full. These are the best mantras. Morning when you get up, you must go on chanting, I need nothing today. I need nothing, I need nothing, I have everything, I have everything. And that leads you to the extreme, the maximum limit of satisfaction. Satisfaction is nothing but santosh amriti tirthanam. That is the highest divine quality. I have everything. That satisfaction, that feeling of having everything, I need nothing. Thereby we can control our desires. And desires are due to incompleteness, gap. So what happens then? How the desires work? They are of three kinds. They belong to three groups. One is desire for wealth. All these three includes everything, all our desires. Three groups. Need for wealth. Wealth means something to have transaction, to give and take. That is called wealth. And of course your health is wealth. Your knowledge also is your wealth. Whatever you belong, whatever belongs to you, your belongings are your wealth. So, desire for wealth. हमारे जो श्री means the beauty. Beauty means जो हम उस दिन विचार कर रहे थे ना, सुगंधिम पुष्टिवर्धनम. Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Sugandh, beauty, the fragrance. That is your character, that becomes your character. So, this wealth, without wealth, our relative life is nowhere. It cannot work. It cannot move anywhere. Wealth is a must. So desire for wealth, and then to protect those wealth, whatever we have, there should be some caretaker. I am not, because I am limited, because I have desires, I am surely, now I am here, afterwards I will not be. This is the law of this transitory world. One who has appeared, he has to disappear. That is known as birth and death. And analytically, the subtle becomes gross, and gross again in cycle, gross again becomes subtle. Your body is composed by subtle five elements, and it will go to five elements in the cycle. It has to. If you are a body, then you have birth means appearance, grossness, and again you will go to subtle source. That's how nature works. You are bound to be within it. So now this caretaker, there is a need for a caretaker. Whatever belongs to me, it should be protected after me, because I am not permanent. That feeling is everybody has. So somebody should take care. That is my progeny. That's how I want to have my progeny. And that's how लोकेशणा, स्त्री ऐसणा और धन ऐसणा, ये इस ढंग से कह दिया है। लोकेशणा इज स्त्री ऐसणा मीन्स वही टू हैव प्रोजेनीज, टू हैव माई some follower who should take care of my belongings, my wealth. And lokeshana, you see, because we have the feeling of limitedness, that's how we have, simultaneously we have a feeling to expand. That is the law of nature. We have to expand. That means I should be known, everybody should know me. That is called lokeshana, that is called name and fame. I should be known to everyone. Why? Because the root cause is there within us. Because I am limited, I have to be unlimited to expand. So that is indirectly by having name and fame. People should know me. Somebody came from Delhi. He is a teacher. and he teaches uh, some children of high class people, means ministers and higher officers. And when I asked him, where from you are and what are you? Don't you know me? Whole Delhi knows me. Whole Delhi knows me. That is our inner personality. We want that everybody should know us. That means fame and name. Name and fame, that is, as long as they are in this world, so long you will enjoy in the subtle world. You will enjoy a kind of subtle enjoyment. That is how our great seers have told us. If grossly you have name and fame on this earth, then after this life, gross life, when you go to the subtle life, the subtler realms of the existence, subtler realms, we call it Lokalokantar. So in those subtler realms, you will enjoy till then, as long as the name and form is existing on this earth plane. So it is said, Kirtirjasya sajivati. Kirtirjasya sajivati. He is living, whose name and fame is there on this earth. He is a living being, he never dies. That means he enjoys his good actions, the result of good actions. He enjoys in subtler realms. So in this way, everybody wants name and fame. That is desire, number 2, group number 2. One is wealth, second is name and fame, third is caretaker of the wealth. So in this way, except these 3 kinds of desires, we don't see any other kinds of desire in a being. 3 kinds of desires. Everybody wants to have, that is wealth, and to take care of it, that is progeny, and to have name and fame. Name and fame is based on expanding yourself, because you feel limited, so you want, the natural feeling will be to be unlimited, expanding yourself. So names and forms. And that is also the nature of the nature, means creation, and that is nature of the Paramatma also. This is universal nature, to expand. The truth also ever expanding. The Maya, the cosmic power, also is ever expanding, and every individual being also ever expanding. And that ever expansion is known as the journey of the life, journey of the soul, Jivan Yatra, evolution of the evolution process. Evolution is nothing but expansion. So in this way, three kinds of desires, and we have seen now the causes of these desires, three kinds of desires. Wealth, because I am dependent, I am limited, so I depend upon many other things. That is the desire for having something to fill up the gap because of feeling of incompleteness and bodily feeling, and that is called desire for wealth, any kind of wealth. And the second is to have name and fame, that also because of incompleteness, that is the root cause for everything. That's how you want to expand and become big. Your, your glory, your name and fame should be known to everyone. And then whatever you have, you don't want any end, because your nature is unending, eternal. You are the eternal being. So natural feeling is there to be eternal. So whatever I have in uh, our relative life, there is a natural need to protect it eternally. My progeny, my race should go on. Surya Vansha, Jadu Vansha, Chandra Vansha, the Vansha Parampara. Our race should go on continuously. It should not be stopped anywhere. So these three kinds of desires, they are based upon our feeling of limitedness and becoming the being, and that is the cause of all the miseries, worldly being. If one has win over these three desires, then he is at rest. That is the way to become one with the Absolute One, or to have that Samadhi state. If you have no desires of these three kinds, then there is nothing to do, no action, no reaction, no cause, no effect, no dualism, no belonging, no entanglement. And these desires, they multiply, they become strengthened by repetition. Everything is strengthened by repetition. So, from another angle, if we look at these desires, matra sparsastu kaunteya, sitoshna sukha dukkadaha. From different angle we may see, when we have got contact of our senses by the force of mind with the sense objects, it has got contact. And this contact, if it is repeated again and again, that causes to strengthen the desire. That's how the desire is grown. The root cause we have seen of the desires. Now how the desires grow, how they become more and more stronger, and they they capture our whole life system. We are slaves of our desires. There is a saying, one who is slave of his desires, he is slave of the whole universe. And whose, whose slave is desire, the whole universe is slave of him. If you have conquered your desires, then you can rule over the three worlds. You are the emperor of emperors. You have to salute no one. Everybody has to salute you. Because you don't bow down to anyone for something. You are not a beggar. You are a giver. And this is how Gurudev used to say, give, give, give. If you can give up yourself, your belongings, you have to give up. And then remains yourself. If you can give up yourself is mental, verbal and physical. If you can give up it, then that is the proximity of your charity, and then you attain oneness. Charity helps you in this way. And that is otherwise shown in our different scriptures, surrendering, pranidhanadava, by surrendering yourself. Surrender mentally, verbally and physically. Physically means wealth-wise, fame-wise and progeny-wise. That includes everything. Then only your complete surrender is agreed. And then you have nothing, so you are absolute one. You have no belongings. When all these facts and figures are seen by analytical process, that's how our great seers have given all these rules and regulations of our scriptures. All these are secrets of the nature. How this nature forms the individual beings as not only human beings, any being, say human beings, animals, birds, insects, or plant life, or anything in this world with a name and form, they are formed because of this weak point. This is the fundamental rule or principle to make a being, make it limited, and then everything will start. All the desires and all these, it will have a body and all these parts, and then I-ness, my-ness, and all these desires and many-ness. Because of progeny, everyone becomes many. Not only in human beings. See the plant life, see the animal life. Everywhere this natural law works. One becomes many. And this is how one, if one can control the desires by disconnecting the contact with the sense objects, that is what we have discussed already. Disconnecting, and if it is connected and repeated, then desires are strengthened. So clear. If it is repeated, then it is strengthened. And it becomes in Sanskrit इच्छा, तृष्णा और फिर क्या क्या चलता है सब, which dominate on your personality. Your personality is nothing but desires. If you can control these desires, you are the monarch of monarchs, emperor of emperors. You have to salute nobody, bow down to nobody. Everybody will bow down under your feet. Samahatma Sudurlabha. That rare being is found somewhere, somehow. One who has no desires. Chinta nasti kilam tesam. They have no desires at all to worry about. No worries, no desires. That's how one can enjoy the eternal life and become one with the Absolute One. That is otherwise having samadhi or getting the fruit of samadhi tree, absolute bliss. दृश्य तत्व के शोधन से सन्मात्र परमार्थ और दृष्टा के तत्व के शोधन से चिन्मात्र परमार्थ के अखंड अखंडैक्य रूप अभेद बुद्धि ऐसे नष्ट हो जाती है, अभेद बुद्धि ऐसा नष्ट हो जाती है जैसे ताप से हिम की लेखा। Now we shall see some other way. Different methods of a seeker, how one can adopt something so that he, by continuous sincere practice, he can attain to samadhi. The other way is analysis of this is of course very little difficult aspect. You see, again we have come to see, analyze the seer and seen. Seer and seen we discussed as an individual being, isn't it? Now we come to the absolute seer and the seen world. The absolute seer, the absolute truth, it sees the world within itself. So if the world and the truth can be analyzed, then we can have the idea there is no world, there is only the seer, there is no seen object. Here there is no triad, because the Absolute One sees itself within itself. within itself, not outside itself. If I say, I see my hand, for a time being, I feel hand is outside me. But there is no such feeling because he is all pervading. So there cannot be anything other than him. So he feels everything within itself. And that we have seen many times analytically, just as one one reflection becomes many in a lens house, and those reflections are within itself. They are not outside of them. Reflections are reflected in reflections. One reflection will have so many reflections. And that reflection also is within the lens which is reflected within itself. Just as uh, the reflection of this you can see, this is the paperweight, glass paperweight. This is reflected within itself because of its transparency. The truth is spotless, transparent, so it reflects within itself. So its reflections are not one but many. And that many reflections are known as the world. So there will be question how these many names and forms they are seen so solidly different from each other, and we see our visible world. Can you deny this? How can you say there is no tree, there is no uh, mountain, there is no river, there is only I? How can you say? You have so many other beings with you. So all these are so solid truth we see. How can you deny all these? So we have seen it analytically. All these gross forms are nothing but repeated forms of the absolute subtle atoms. If you see the chemical process of the water, chemical process means the composition of water, organic chemistry. The two original elements, oxygen and hydrogen, they are different from each other and they are basic elements. And when they get composed by some method in particular ratio, it becomes water, oxygen and hydrogen. And same are nothing but fire, and same are air also. Air means some gas, some elements, some basic elements gathered together and moving. Movement is known as air. And in the very beginning, it was so subtle, even microscope cannot see it. The sky, space, ether. So, when that moves, then all these elements come to being, and all these get together in particular ratios in different ways, and that is called Panchikaran. All these five, they get together in different ways, many innumerable different ways. And those subtle matters, when they get composed, many get together, then they take a gross form. And this is how, if you analyze any form in this world, any form, it will dwindle into that five elements, and then those five subtle elements, they will disappear in absolute vibratory system, which is known as sound. Sound is the basic basic starting of all these names and forms of this creation, and sound is nothing but vibrations. When one wave clashes with the other wave, then there starts all these formation, and subtle becomes gross when one is repeated again and again. In this way, the absolute sound which was not there before, which appeared somehow, which is not there. How can you say appeared which was not there? This is Atpatti language. Atpatti how it can be seen which was not there? It is possible. See, water becomes waves. Was there any wave before water? Water only appears as wave which is having a different name and form within the water. It is not different from the water. Similarly, the flame of the fire or heat of the fire, it is its natural nature. It cannot be differentiated from it. In this way, if we see, sound is not there. It is only a wavy system. Wave means it has to go on. Wave means imbalanced state. Once one becomes imbalanced, it has to go on becoming imbalanced eternally. This is the natural law. So, if one wave is created, then other waves have to be created. किसी ने कहा, लहरों से लहरें टकराते हैं क्यों? लाखों अरबों बुदबुदें बजाते क्यों? वही एक लहर वो लाखों बुदबुद में कैसा बदल जाता है? फिर बनते हैं तो बिगड़ते रहते हैं क्यों? महासागर का तो स्वभाव ही यूं. Why these waves, they clash against each other again and again, always? Why are they created? And why do they clash against each other? And why innumerable bubbles are created? And why are they created and again they disappear? Why? Because this is called the nature of the water, the ocean. This is called the nature of the ocean. So the absolute is like this. one truth. Because it is transparent, it has to reflect within itself because of its transparency. This is its quality. Without this, there is no absolute. It has its nature. So, that's how this reflections and first reflection is known as the wave within itself, which is not there. That is called sound wave. And that's how the creation of these solid names and forms are solidified in course of time. There is no time, there is nothing, but it is being seen within itself in this way. You see yourself, you are aware of yourself. In this way, the Absolute is one and it sees itself. You are able to see yourself, feel yourself means the Absolute also sees itself. You are if one, then Absolute also is one. If you are one, the others are also one, 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 one. They cannot be many. So everything starts from one, and that absolute one holds all these many within it.
Sound has right.
Same energy. Energy is nothing but a flow of waves, wavy system. One takes the name and form of the other. That's all. The energy is known as, say, sound or light or call it as you like, magnet or anything. Same energy. And our Indian philosophy says this, but the Western philosophy, they don't agree to it. They will agree if the scientists agree to it. Scientists have declared they have to, their grandfather have to declare the energy is the source of all this creation. The whole creation is nothing but, whole universe is nothing but a play of energy. And that we say it is play of sound. What else do you say? Your language, we also accept, but our language you don't accept. Challenge. Challenge. There is only one, there is no many. Guarantee. So in this way, when we analyze, then all these शोधन करना मतलब वही करें दृश्य तत्व के शोधन से. When we analyze this visible entities with names and forms, then go on analyzing in the any way you like, mentally, logically, or scientifically. Any way you can analyze all these gross names and forms of the visible world, they will dwindle in the absolute subtle waves which are nothing but the imbalanced state of the absolute balanced state. When the equilibrium is imbalanced, then this world appears to be within it. Just as we can take the example of mirage in the desert, because of the uh, nature of the hot air, we see the waves, apparent waves, which seem to be water waves, which is not there at all. It is due to hot air. And we see something and we say there is water flow, and the poor innocent deer, they run behind it and die without getting it out of thirst. Similarly, we see the snake on the rope in the darkness because we are unable to see it. See it means see the reality. Then we concordate something. Of course, here we give the example in a relative world. There is no example. In absolute, you cannot give any example. There is no logic, there is no comparison, there is no proof, and all the proofs are proved by it. So you cannot have any proof, no logic, and if you argue, how can we accept without any reason? Then you come to yourself, inquire who am I and know thyself. This is the last method. Who are you who is asking this question? First of all, you have to find out who are you. Then the question is answered. Who is the questioner? And he has to answer the question. You are the questioner, you are the answerer. Everything is within you. You are the absolute one. By mistake, by forgetfulness, somehow you have been unable to know yourself. Now inquire who are you. And then all the questions will be solved. So there will not be any argument or there is no proof for yourself. Do you want any proof for yourself? So how can you need some proof for the absolute truth? You are the truth. Don't go anywhere to search for him. In this way, if you can, this is the other way to have that nectarian fruit, the bliss of the samadhi, of that will-fulfilling tree. All these are different methods. दृश्य तत्व के शोधन से, शोधन करना मतलब एनालिसिस, सन्मात्र जो सत्य है, परमार्थ और दृष्टा के तत्व के शोधन से, जो देख रहा है उसको शोधन करना. Who is the seer? When we analyze the seer, how do you see who are you and what is the seen? Of course, we have analyzed the triad method. Now the seer only one seer. You see the visible world, isn't it? Acknowledge yourself. That is what in the end we said. No argument, inquire who am I. Know thyself. So all the visible external names and forms which constitute this creation, they will they disappear nowhere. Nobody knows where they will disappear. Just as the candle light disappeared when you blow it out, and it again appears when you lit it. Similarly, all these words with names and forms, they disappear. Who are you then? Huh? So tomorrow we shall see further some other methods. There is no end. दृश्य जगत को हम अर्थ को अनर्थ कर दिए। दृष्टा का शोधन किए, दृश्य तत्व के शोधन किए और सन्मात्र परमार्थ का शोधन किए और दृष्टा तत्व को भी शोधन किए, एनालिसिस किए और इससे फिर दुनिया का ये नाम रूप कहाँ चले गए पता नहीं और भेद बुद्धि कहाँ चला गया। दिस dualistic vision disappears. There is no vision. If vision is a word, it means it itself. If there is some seer, it sees itself. No way there is dualistic world. So further we shall see tomorrow. Some other interesting method. Different methods. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai Sabda Brahma ki jai सरस्वती महारानी की जय जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय।